once I learned how to get backstage, it became an addiction. Like every band that came to town, I had to meet them. That became my thing. And at this time, I was still in my early teens. I was sort of living a double life because at school, I was a complete tomboy. I was always like in, baggy band t-shirts covered up, ripped jeans. And, people used to call me Axl Rose because we both had long red hair and I was a huge Guns N' Roses fan. And, if I wasn't in, like, the ripped jeans and t-shirts, I was trying to do, like, the, 70s punk thing, which was, like, kilts and combat boots, which he was also wearing. So, like, I couldn't really get away from, kind of looking like Axl Rose. Except when I went to concerts, because when there was a band coming to town, I knew that in order to get backstage, I had to look a certain way. So I would go and buy, a new outfit for every band that was coming. And, and it was like the opposite of how I looked at school. So in school, I'd be like total tomboy, but when I was going to these concerts, I was like in high heels and, bustiers and, short skirts and, the whole thing, anything to get attention, to be handed a backstage pass. And I wasn't looking to hook up with anyone. I was still too young to even be considering that. I was just trying to meet them and establish a deeper connection and also be able to feel like that I had sort of been accepted into a world because, I wasn't really, I wasn't accepted at school and I don't really relate to most people. So when I went to concerts, it was sort of like, it almost like felt like home and I got to be, kind of, one of the popular girls instead of, one of the freaks. So my mom, she used to take me into downtown Boston so I could shop at the more avant-garde boutiques that sold the same brands that the rock stars were wearing. So I think at this time, I think the majority of my wardrobe was Lip Service brand and Betsey Johnson. I had all these great, Betsey Johnson velvet dresses and, tons of Lip Service stuff. And I went through a weird period where there was this kind of bizarre synchronicity happening with my fashion choices. I don't know if it was because people were already calling me Axl Rose that this started happening or what was going on. But every time I would buy a new t-shirt or leggings or anything that a boy could possibly also wear, shortly after, I kid you not, I would see Axl wearing the exact same thing. On TV or in a magazine. I'd be like, okay, that's weird. As Axl Rose is telepathically talking to me through fashion. And when I was 13, I was going through, I guess, sort of the normal, teenage stuff. There was some dark stuff going on with some of my friends, and just, a lot of there was a lot of abuse issues in the town that we grew up in, and then just the regular teen stuff. Just being depressed and not fitting in and wanting to run away. And, it would get so bad that we would be calling the Greyhound station, to find out, when the buses were leaving. And of course we would always chicken out and not go. But, it was that bad that we were actually always kind of considering running away. And, when GNR Lies came out, and I still have the cassette, in the liner notes, because I used to just tear through this stuff. I would read every word of everything. In the liner notes, very, very small, there was this box that says, "Can Axl help you?" Says, "Can Axl help you? If you've got a problem, I'm here to help. Please write Conspiracy Inc." And then it had the P.O. box number. So I wrote. I bought Axl, it was his birthday, I think it was 1990, I bought him a Lip Service t-shirt, because we were always ending up, with the same clothes, so I bought him a Lip Service t-shirt, and I think maybe a Harley Davidson t-shirt or something like that, and I drew this picture of him on, I made a card for him, a birthday card that had a hand-drawn, picture of him, and I wrote, this really sincere letter, about, just about what was going on with me and my friends, and, what do we do, we're going through all this, heavy shit, and we want to run away, and, what do we do? And I got a letter, I got a form letter back. It was basically it was you know, it was like a fish to join the fan club. I got like a form letter back, you know, saying like, oh, join the fan club or da 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 da. And I got really, really mad because, I didn't really know exactly how things worked yet on that level. But I got really offended, and I actually wrote. It turns out it went to the record label. Probably like whoever was doing their PR connected to the label. But I wrote this really like angry letter saying like, this album said that if I had a problem, Axl would help me. I sent him t-shirts and a letter, and I got back, an impersonal response. This is not acceptable. And these days, you would just be ignored. Especially since I'm pretty sure my letter even said that, like how old I was, you know what I mean? Because I think I said, we're in junior high and we're going through this and this and that. So yeah, these days, if you emailed like someone's PR as a kid, say you'd probably be ignored. But I got back a handwritten letter instead of like a typed form letter saying like, thank you for writing us. Here's your, whatever, 8x10 photocopied signed pic. I got back a handwritten letter from somebody that was working for them saying, like dear Alexa, we're very sorry. We're very sorry to like make you feel this way. The t-shirts will be given to him, but we can't guarantee a response as to the letter. We just guarantee that it will be given to him, and it's up to him whether he responds or not. So that was kind of my first contact with Guns N' Roses people. And then, years later, after I moved to LA, I ended up meeting every single person in Guns N' Roses, several times. Like, if we go all the way up to now, I've met all of them, like, a few times. I mean, I even got to jam with Slash and Gilby once, at a little bar called the Baked Potato. They were doing, like, a jam, and I got to sing backing vocals for Knockin' on Heaven's Door, a long time ago. I've seen them, I've seen them play a bunch of times. I've photographed them. Like I said, I've met everybody in that band, even like all the people that used to work for them. I'm like friends with, one of their early photographers, managers, like just everyone connected to Guns N' Roses. I ended up like crossing paths with, and at least getting to talk to, if not befriending, except Axl. He's the only person to this day, and he's also like one of the only musicians to this day that's been a really big influence on me that I have never met. Like, how does that even happen? But it's pretty funny. Like, their PR still does write me back. So make sure you guys stick around and subscribe, because you never know what's gonna happen.